Welcome to Napoleon's Power Talk. Today we're diving deep into a topic that will separate your habits from your destiny. The title is Rewire Your Brain for Success, The Hidden Habits of Millionaires. And I've broken this journey down into 10 powerful parts, each one built to challenge, stretch, and grow you. So buckle up. Let's begin with part 1, the power of self-image in building wealth. Have you ever wondered why your goals feel blocked no matter how hard you work? Have you asked why some people seem to attract wealth effortlessly? Let me share a moment with you. Years ago, I sat in a quiet room after a long, exhausting day, feeling frustrated. I was working hard, trying everything, yet financially I remained stuck. That night, I picked up a small, worn book that said, "You can never outperform your self-image." In that quiet moment, it hit me. I was trying to build wealth with the mindset of someone who believed they were destined to struggle. Most people live their entire lives limited by the picture they hold of themselves in their mind. You may want success, but if deep inside you see yourself as unworthy, unprepared, or small, you will subconsciously sabotage every opportunity that comes your way. Pause and ask yourself, who do I believe I am when it comes to wealth and success? Write this question down in your journal tonight and reflect honestly. Napoleon Hill taught that the image you hold of yourself determines the results you allow yourself to achieve. Your subconscious mind does not argue. It simply accepts the image you repeatedly present to it. If you see yourself as a person who struggles, your mind will seek ways to keep that image true. If you see yourself as a person capable of wealth, growth, and freedom, your mind will begin to seek opportunities to match that image. Let me share the story of Clara, who worked at a small retail shop earning just enough to get by. She wanted to build a business but felt stuck. One day she decided to start visualizing herself as a confident, capable business owner. Each morning she spent 5 minutes imagining herself speaking to clients, handling projects, and receiving payments with calm confidence. This small habit started shifting her actions. She spoke with more certainty, took small risks, and within a year, Clara launched her online service, steadily building income beyond her old job. It all began with a new self-image. Ask yourself, what image of yourself are you carrying when it comes to wealth and success? What new image will you choose to adopt starting today? Drop your reflections in the comments to claim your commitment and inspire others. If you are finding value here and want to continue rewiring your mind for wealth, subscribe to Napoleon's Power Talk so we can grow your success mindset together. Remember this, you will never consistently earn more than the image you hold of yourself. Wealth starts in your mind before it arrives in your bank account. You have the power to rewrite your self-image, to see yourself as worthy, capable, and aligned with abundance. You are not here to live small. You are here to live as the person who knows they can build wealth, serve with purpose, and claim the freedom you were created for. Part 2, Morning Rituals That Shape Millionaire Minds. Have you ever wondered why your day feels scattered no matter how motivated you feel at night? Have you felt you lose focus the moment your day begins? Let me share a quiet personal truth with you. There was a time I would wake up and immediately grab my phone, check notifications, scroll endlessly, and let the world's noise flood my mind before my feet even touched the floor. I felt busy all day but unfulfilled by night. Then one morning, I came across a line that changed me. How you start your morning shapes your entire day. That day, I decided to claim the first hour of my day for myself. Most people want success but surrender the first moments of their day to chaos and distractions. They allow the world to decide their mindset, emotions, and focus before they decide for themselves. Millionaires, on the other hand, guard their mornings with deep intention. Pause and ask yourself, how do I start my mornings? Am I choosing to shape my mindset before the world shapes it for me? Write this question in your journal tonight. Napoleon Hill taught that the first hour of the day is the golden hour. It is when your mind is most receptive to suggestion, gratitude, and clear intention. If you start your day with clarity, gratitude, and focus, you begin rewiring your mind to expect success and align your actions with your purpose. Let me share the story of James, who worked in a demanding job and felt stuck in a cycle of exhaustion. One day he decided to reclaim his mornings. He woke up 30 minutes earlier, spent 5 minutes in gratitude, 5 minutes visualizing his goals, and 20 minutes reading a page of a wealth-building book or planning his top priorities. Within months, James noticed he was calmer, more focused, and began making small but consistent progress toward launching his own consulting business. All of this started with how he used his mornings. Ask yourself, what small morning ritual can I start tomorrow to align my mindset with success and abundance? How can I protect the first hour of my day for my growth? Share your commitment in the comments so your discipline can encourage others. If you find this series valuable and want to continue building your success rituals, subscribe to Napoleon's Power Talk so we can walk this journey together. Remember that how you begin your day shapes how you live your day, and how you live your days shapes your life. By protecting your mornings, you protect your dreams. By owning your mornings, you prepare your mind to see opportunities, not problems. You are not here to let the world dictate your mind's focus. You are here to claim your mornings, build your mindset, and prepare your mind to create wealth, freedom, and impact. Part 3, the habit of clear written goals. Have you ever felt lost even though you have big dreams? Have you wondered why your goals remain dreams year after year? Let me share a quiet turning point with you. There was a season in my life when I was busy every day, yet felt like I was running in circles. I wanted success, but my actions were scattered. One evening, I read a powerful sentence: "Goals not written down are just wishes." That night, I took a blank page and wrote my top 5 goals clearly, in present tense, as if they were already achieved. That simple act shifted my mind forever. Most people want wealth, but keep their goals floating in their minds, unclear and uncommitted. Millionaires write their goals down. They create clarity that guides their daily decisions. When you write your goals, you give your subconscious mind a target, and your mind begins to filter opportunities, ideas, and actions that align with those goals. Pause and ask yourself, are my goals written down clearly, or are they just floating in my mind? Write this question in your journal tonight. Napoleon Hill taught that a clear, definite goal backed by desire and persistence is the starting point of all success. When you write your goals, you commit. You clarify what you want, when you want it, and why you want it. This clarity transforms vague hope into a focused mission. Let me share the story of Sarah, who wanted to build financial freedom but kept drifting. One day she decided to write her goals on paper, including the amount she wanted to earn, the business she wanted to build, and the timeline she was committed to. Each morning she read her goals aloud, visualized them, and took one action aligned with them. Within a year, Sarah had launched her online store, grown her income, and cleared debt, all starting with clear written goals. This is not magic. It is alignment and focus. Ask yourself, what is the one financial goal you will write down today with clarity and commitment? What action will you take this week to align with this goal? Share your goal in the comments to anchor your commitment and inspire others. If you are finding this series valuable and want to continue building your wealth mindset, subscribe to Napoleon's Power Talk so we can grow your focus and clarity together. Remember this, your mind needs a clear target to create focused energy. Written goals transform wishes into plans and plans into actions. Every wealthy individual you admire started by writing down what they wanted with certainty. You are not here to wander in circles. You are here to write your goals boldly. Align your mind with your mission and take action toward wealth and purpose. Part 4, Mastering the Power of Visualization. Have you ever felt stuck even though you're taking action? Have you wondered why your mind drifts back to fear when you think about your goals? Let me share a personal turning point with you. There was a time I worked tirelessly toward my goals, yet fear and doubt would cloud my mind daily. One evening I read a sentence that stopped me. You cannot outperform the pictures you hold in your mind. That day, I decided to start visualizing the life I wanted as if it was already mine. Most people take action without aligning their mind's images with their desired future. Millionaires understand that your subconscious mind is guided by images and feelings you consistently feed it. If you see yourself failing, your actions will sabotage your progress. If you see yourself succeeding, your mind begins to find pathways to match that image. Pause and ask yourself, what images am I feeding my mind each day? Write this reflection in your journal tonight. Napoleon Hill taught that visualization combined with belief and desire magnetizes your mind to attract the resources, ideas, and people you need. Visualization is not empty daydreaming. It is focused, intentional creation of your future in your mind, guiding your daily actions and building your confidence. Let me share the story of Leo, who worked in a job he disliked while dreaming of starting a consulting business. He began a simple practice of closing his eyes every morning for 5 minutes, visualizing himself working with clients, receiving payments, and feeling gratitude. As he did this consistently, his confidence grew. Leo started taking small actions, reaching out to potential clients, and within a year he transitioned from his job to running his own business full-time. Visualization gave him the inner permission to act. Ask yourself, what future are you willing to visualize daily until it becomes your reality? What image will you choose to hold for your wealth and freedom journey? Share your commitment in the comments so your courage inspires others. If you are gaining value from this series, subscribe to Napoleon's Power Talk so we can continue rewiring your mind for wealth together. Remember this, your mind is like a projector. Whatever images you play consistently will become the script you live by. Wealth is first created in the mind before it arrives in your reality. Visualization helps you align your thoughts, feelings, and actions with the future you desire. You are not here to live in the shadows of fear and doubt. You are here to see, feel, and claim the wealth and freedom you were created to live. Part 5. The Power of Association in Building Wealth. Have you ever wondered why you feel drained after spending time with certain people? Have you noticed how some conversations leave you doubting your dreams? Let me share a quiet truth from my journey. There was a time I was surrounded by people who believed wealth was impossible for people like us. Every time I shared a goal, they would laugh or say, "Be realistic." One day I read this sentence: "You are the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with." That day I made a choice to guard my associations with intention. Most people underestimate the influence of their environment on their wealth mindset. You may have the best plans, but if your circle constantly speaks limitation, fear, and doubt, your mind absorbs those beliefs quietly. Millionaires choose to associate with people who challenge them to grow, who believe in wealth, and who think big. Pause and ask yourself, who am I spending the most time with, and what beliefs are they feeding my mind? Write this reflection in your journal tonight. Napoleon Hill taught that your mastermind group, your circle, and your environment are critical to success. If you want to rewire your brain for wealth, start by surrounding yourself with voices that encourage, uplift, and hold you accountable to your higher potential. Let me share the story of Anita, who wanted to build financial freedom but was surrounded by family and friends who feared risk and rejected any idea of wealth building. She decided to join a small online accountability group focused on financial growth, reading, and daily discipline. Slowly, Anita's conversations shifted. Her beliefs expanded, and she began taking action on ideas she once ignored. Within 2 years, she started a side business that replaced her job income. The shift started when she changed who she allowed to influence her mind. Ask yourself, who do you need to spend more time with to align your mindset with wealth and success? What relationships will you intentionally distance yourself from to protect your growth? Share your reflections in the comments so your courage inspires others on this journey. If you are finding value in this series, subscribe to Napoleon's Power Talk so we can continue building your wealth mindset together. Remember that your environment is a silent teacher. If you walk with those who complain, you will complain. If you walk with those who believe in abundance, you will start to believe in abundance. The voices you allow around you will either build your faith or feed your fears. You are not here to stay limited by the beliefs of others. You are here to create your own environment of growth, courage, and financial freedom. Part 6. Discipline. The hidden engine of wealth. Have you ever felt motivated at night but struggled to take action the next morning? Have you wondered why your plans often fade after a few days? Let me share a personal moment of truth with you. There was a season when I had powerful plans. I would write them with excitement at night, imagining the success I would create. But in the morning, I would slip back into old habits, distractions, and comfort. One day, I read a line that shifted everything. Discipline is doing what needs to be done, even when you don't feel like doing it. That day, I realized I didn't have a strategy problem. I had a discipline problem. Most people desire wealth but live as prisoners to their moods. They act only when it feels easy. Millionaires build discipline as a daily practice, understanding that consistency is more important than bursts of inspiration. Discipline rewires your brain to trust yourself, to follow through, and to align your actions with your goals. Pause and ask yourself, where am I letting feelings control my actions instead of my commitment? Write this reflection in your journal tonight. Napoleon Hill taught that success requires a decision, but wealth requires disciplined action on that decision daily. Discipline is not harshness, it is self-love in action. It is your commitment to your future self. Let me share the story of Omar, who wanted to build an investment portfolio but struggled with spending habits. Every month he planned to save but ended up spending on things he didn't need. One day Omar decided to practice discipline by automating his savings before he touched his spending money. He read a few pages of financial books daily, even on days he felt tired. Within a year, Omar built a strong savings habit, started investing, and saw his mindset shift from scarcity to growth. The change was not instant, but discipline turned small actions into big results. Ask yourself, what small discipline can you start today to align your actions with your wealth goals? What habit will you commit to regardless of how you feel? Share your commitment in the comments so your decision inspires others to take action. If you find this series valuable, subscribe to Napoleon's Power Talk so we can keep building your discipline and wealth mindset together. Remember this, discipline is your silent superpower. It is the hidden engine behind every millionaire's success. Inspiration will start your journey, but discipline will carry you through. By choosing discipline, you choose your future over your feelings. You are not here to live in cycles of regret and inconsistency. You are here to master your habits, align your actions with your goals, and claim the wealth and freedom you are capable of building. Part 7. Learning from failure like millionaires do. Have you ever felt like failure means you are not meant for success? Have you wondered why some people rise stronger after setbacks while others quit? Let me share a personal truth with you. There was a time I took a risk on a business idea that failed. I felt embarrassed and defeated, questioning if I was capable of success. One evening I read a powerful reminder. Failure is not the opposite of success. It is part of success. That day I decided to see my failure as a teacher, not an enemy. Most people run from failure, fearing what others will say or how it will feel. Millionaires embrace failure as part of their journey, knowing it carries lessons no book or mentor can teach. They rewire their minds to see failure as feedback, adjusting and improving until they find the right path. Pause and ask yourself, how do I respond to failure? Do I learn or do I quit? Write this question in your journal tonight. Napoleon Hill taught that every failure carries with it the seed of an equal or greater benefit. When you fail, you are gathering data, strengthening your resilience, and refining your strategy. It is only final if you quit. Let me share the story of Priya, who started an online service business that did not gain traction. At first she felt defeated, ready to give up, but instead she chose to analyze what went wrong. She adjusted her offer, learned marketing, and relaunched with a clearer message. Within a year, Priya was earning more than her previous job, using the lessons learned from her initial failure to build a stronger business. Failure was her mentor, not her enemy. Ask yourself, what failure in your life can you revisit and learn from? What lesson is waiting to guide your next step toward wealth? Share your insight in the comments so others can learn from your courage and honesty. If you find this series valuable and want to transform your failures into stepping stones, subscribe to Napoleon's Power Talk so we can continue your growth journey together. Remember this, failure is not the end, it is part of your refining process. Those who succeed greatly have failed greatly but refuse to quit. They saw failure as a teacher, not a prison. You are not here to hide from setbacks, and you are here to learn, grow, and rise stronger, using every challenge as fuel for your journey toward wealth and freedom. Part 8. The habit of lifelong learning. Have you ever felt like you are stuck in the same place year after year? Have you wondered why some people keep growing while others remain the same? Let me share a personal reflection with you. There was a time I thought I knew enough to succeed. I was so focused on action that I stopped learning, thinking it was a waste of time. But one day I came across a sentence that humbled me deeply. If you are not learning, you are falling behind. That day I promised myself to become a lifelong learner, no matter how busy I became. Most people stop learning after school, thinking their education is complete. Millionaires know that growth never ends. They invest in books, mentors, courses, and experiences, expanding their minds to match their goals. They rewire their brains to adapt, innovate, and see opportunities others miss. Pause and ask yourself, when was the last time I intentionally learned something that could help me grow? Write this question in your journal tonight. Napoleon Hill taught that your mind is your greatest asset, and its value depends on how you feed it. If you want wealth, you must expand your knowledge, learning about money, mindset, leadership, and yourself. Every hour you invest in learning compounds your growth. Let me share the story of David, who worked at a regular job and felt stuck financially. Instead of complaining, David decided to read 10 pages of a wealth-building book every day and listen to podcasts during his commute. He applied what he learned, starting small investments and a side business using skills he learned from books and online courses. Within 2 years, David's income grew, and he stepped into a life he once only dreamed about. It started with the decision to learn every day. Ask yourself, what new skill or knowledge can you commit to learning this month to align with your wealth goals? What book, course, or mentor will you choose to invest your time in? Share your learning commitment in the comments so others can be inspired to grow with you. If you are finding value in this series and want to continue growing your mind and wealth, subscribe to Napoleon's Power Talk so we can walk this path of lifelong learning together. Remember this, your mind is like a muscle. If you do not train it, it weakens. If you feed it daily with new learning, it expands and adapts, opening doors you never imagined possible. You are not here to live a stagnant life. You are here to grow, learn, and become the person capable of building wealth, freedom, and a life of contribution. Part 9, taking calculated risks. Have you ever felt afraid to take the next step because you might fail? Have you wondered why wealth often flows to those who take bold actions? Let me share a quiet, honest moment with you. There was a time I would overthink every decision, waiting for the perfect moment before acting. One day I came across these words. The biggest risk is not taking any risk at all. That day I understood that inaction was costing me more than any mistake ever could. Most people dream of wealth, but fear taking the necessary risks. Millionaires learn to take calculated risks rather than reckless ones. They gather information, trust their judgment, and move forward even when they feel uncomfortable. Taking risks expands your capacity to receive, rewire your mind for courage, and helps you discover what you are truly capable of. Pause and ask yourself, what risk am I avoiding right now that could move me closer to wealth? Write this reflection in your journal tonight. Napoleon Hill taught that successful people make decisions quickly and change them slowly. They understand that waiting for complete certainty is a trap that keeps you stagnant. Every great opportunity requires you to step into uncertainty with faith and preparation. Let me share the story of Nina, who dreamed of starting a graphic design agency while working a low-paying job. She saved money, built her skills, and took the calculated risk of launching her agency part-time while still working. She learned through small failures, adjusted her strategy, and within 18 months she had a full roster of clients, allowing her to leave her job. Nina's wealth journey began the moment she took that first risk. Ask yourself, what small calculated risk can you take this month to align your actions with your wealth goals? What is the cost of staying exactly where you are? Share your thoughts in the comments so your courage inspires others to act. If you find this series valuable and want to keep building your wealth mindset, subscribe to Napoleon's Power Talk so we can walk this courageous journey together. Remember this, growth does not happen in the comfort zone. Wealth is created by those who learn to take wise risks, knowing that discomfort is part of progress. If you want to live a different life, you must be willing to do things you have never done. You are not here to live trapped by fear and indecision. You are here to act boldly, trust your inner guidance, and claim the wealth and freedom that is waiting on the other side of your next step. Part 10, the power of persistence. Have you ever felt like giving up because results are taking too long? Have you wondered why some people succeed while others stop halfway? Let me share a quiet truth from my journey. There was a time I started a project with excitement, but when progress was slow, I felt discouraged and doubted myself. One day I read these words, "Persistence is to the character of man as carbon is to steel." That day I realized quitting was not an option if I truly wanted wealth. Most people give up when challenges arise, assuming delays mean denial. Millionaires rewire their minds to understand that persistence is the price of success. They keep moving, adapting, and learning, even when results are invisible. Persistence builds trust within yourself and tells your mind you will not quit on your dreams. Pause and ask yourself, where have I been tempted to give up when I needed to persist? Write this question in your journal tonight. Napoleon Hill taught that persistence is the sustained effort necessary to induce faith and transform plans into wealth. Wealth does not arrive on your timeline. It arrives on the timeline of your discipline and persistence. Let me share the story of Hassan, who wanted to build a YouTube channel teaching personal finance. At first, no one watched his videos, and he felt like giving up, but he committed to uploading 2 videos a week for 1 year, regardless of views. By the 8th month, one of his videos went viral, bringing in thousands of subscribers. Today, Hassan earns more than he did at his previous job, all because he chose persistence over quitting. Ask yourself, what goal have you set aside that you need to pick up again with renewed persistence? What would your life look like if you did not give up this time? Share your commitment in the comments so your decision inspires others to persist. If this series has helped you build your wealth mindset, subscribe to Napoleon's Power Talk so we can continue your journey of growth together. Remember this, your dreams are worth the effort it takes to achieve them. Wealth is not a quick sprint, but a consistent journey. Every step you take, every moment you persist, builds your character and attracts opportunities you could not see before. You are not here to live in cycles of starting and stopping. You are here to finish what you start, to persist through challenges, and to claim the wealth and freedom you deserve.